How's it going, everybody? I'm Digit, and this is the Streetcast. Welcome one, welcome all, but more than anything, welcome back to the Streetcast podcast. I'm Digit, and today we're going to be talking about Apple. A little Apple drama, but more, a little Call of Duty pro gamer drama. AMC theaters, we've talked about them a lot. And then, of course, a superconducting metal that was just discovered by researchers. And a quick shout out to my buddy G. Steffs, who sent me this article. It's a little over my head, I'll admit that, but I'm going to do my best to describe it and its implications for the future of technology. So thanks to him. Appreciate you, homie. All right, let's get right into it, folks. Let's start off with the Apple news. Now, it's 2020. You know, it's 2020, everybody. What do you expect when you buy a new phone in 2020? Do you expect a big screen? Oh, yeah. Do you want wireless charging? Boom, there it is. Do you want a metal back? Yes. All right, what else do you want? You want a really tough screen? Bam, it's in there. All right, what else do you want? A brand new software. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Bam, there it is. But what else do you want? What do you expect in your phone? Do you expect it to take good camera? Real good camera, real good photos? Bam. That's the iPhone 12. Whatever you expect, that's what it does. Apple always does well with its phone. But this year, it's a little different, folks. If you're thinking about upgrading, I want you to take a look at the iPhone 12 because of what isn't included in the phone, but what isn't included in the box. Apple has come out and said that they are no longer including a charger or headphones in the box of their new iPhones. So you buy a brand new phone and you don't even have the cable to charge it. Now you might ask, why would the company make such a decision? Well, they've actually come out and announced that this decision is because of the environment. It's because they want to be able to save the environment and do a little better by it. They have said that millions of chargers exist throughout the world and, just use one of those. But here's the problem, folks, okay? Here's the problem. They sell a charger which connects from their Lightning port to a USB-C. And do you know what 90% of the wall chargers are in the world? It's a USB-A. What's the difference, you might ask? A USB-A is exactly what you'd put into a computer. When you think of a computer and a thumb drive, it's that big USB port. A lot of Android phones, a lot of new computers, including Apple's MacBook, operate off of USB-C. Everything is moving to USB-C. So Apple saying that they are saving the environment by making you use their new chargers and not keeping the chargers in the box, that's bullshit, people. That's bullshit. And let me tell you why. The millions of chargers that exist in the world are USB-C. And maybe Lightning. Maybe Lightning exists in the world, yes, but it connects to a USB-A wall charger. Apple is selling a Lightning to USB-C. USB-C wall chargers are very new to the market. Unless you've bought a phone in the last 2 or 3 years, you don't have a USB-C wall charger. If you've bought an Apple phone in the last 3 years, you definitely don't, okay? If Apple really wanted to save the environment, they would have made their phone USB-C to match the cables that comes with their laptops and all of their other accessories. But no, their phones have to be different because their phones are the marketable device that they have right now. Think about that, folks. If they really wanted to save the environment, they would have changed it to USB-C. They would have done whatever they could to fix it. So now, as the consumer, if you are buying an Apple iPhone and you don't buy the super hyped up and expensive Apple charger, let's say you plug that phone into a third-party charger and it breaks, that might break your warranty. Because guess what? You used a third-party charger. I'm not a fan of this. I really am not. If Apple was the first to push USB-C on laptops, and for that I'm grateful. I think USB-C is the future, and we need to adopt it quicker. Apple has been good about adopting new technologies quicker than anyone else, and I think that's awesome. They force the market to go in that direction. They force the market to improve. Great. The problem with their iPhones is that they are dead set on their Lightning connector. They are dead set on these choices that they're making, and they're wrong. The Lightning connector needs to go away for the USB-C because USB-C is on all of their other computers and devices. So that's just Digit's opinion over here, folks. But take a look at it yourself. There's a lot of reporting going on around it. All right. Next up, let's talk about some Call of Duty drama. Now, there is a crazy Call of Duty update coming tomorrow called The Haunting of Verdansk on Warzone. It is going to be insane. Check out the trailer for it. It just dropped today. I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm excited to play it with the boys, and you will definitely be seeing some gameplay of that this coming week. Anyway, now when you think of Warzone and you think of gun that might be different, you might be thinking, yeah, I love those videos, man, where they run a wacky loadout and they run something different. They post it on YouTube. You check it out. It's the thing, man. Well, guess what? Everybody does that. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Everybody likes Call of Duty. Everybody wants to see the newest wacky gun loadout that's kind of crushing it, right? It gets funny when a random YouTuber falls upon the meta and the craziest gun in the game that just breaks all the gameplay. So, for example, Nick Merckx posted a video about the AMAX, the new gun that just dropped in the latest update, and a crazy AMAX loadout. And Call of Duty players, pro COD players, were pissed. Because all these pro players knew about it. But they asked Nick Merckx, a guy whose living is off YouTube and Twitch, to delete the video. Because they didn't want everyone else to know about this loadout. Like, what? I mean, what? Imagine this, folks. Imagine you're a pro streamer, gamer, player, whatever you want to call yourself. Imagine you're a pro, and you want to keep this awesome gun away from people because you don't trust your own skills. And that might not be the case. It might not be. But because they're crazy about it, I'm going to say that's the case. Imagine you want a crazy gun to crush all these kids on Call of Duty so you can say you're so good at the game. But as soon as someone drops a video of it, releases it to the public, so to speak, you freak out and text Nick Merckx and say, hey, man, you need to delete this. So a lot of it came from Twitter, where Nick Merckx, I believe a Twitch streamer, replied to Nick Merckx's post on Twitter of his new video and said, please delete your AMAX video. I will literally do anything. Now, this was kind of in jest, and just because he kind of released the meta to everybody. But then you get a lot of these pro guys replying to that and talking about it. Look, it's the internet, it's YouTube. Play the game, and yeah. It's up to the developers to patch things if they're broken, and it's up to you to use them if you like them. Excuse me for that notification. I'm turning that down. All right, next up. Let's talk about a bit of a superconducting metal right after this. No. Big movie news, y'all. We've talked about movies throughout the time here. We've talked about them shutting down. We've talked about them moving to streaming platforms. We've talked about a lot of things, but one thing that I am excited for sure, is that you can rent your own private movie showing. A lot of the big retailers are doing it. I know AMC is. I believe Regal is about to follow. Check it out on their website. Right now for AMC, you can rent an entire theater for yourself for $100. You get to pick through a list of movies, say, I want to take this one on this day, and they'll tell you if it's available. Check it out. I'm about to take the mighty, marvelous, and wonderful Lucille out on a big date night out there for sure. But it's worth it. Get a couple buddies, get a couple drinks, and you have a whole theater to yourself to watch a movie of your choice. Check it out. It'd be a cool date night. It would be a cool even, you want to blow some money and have a night. Get a theater for yourself. That's a thing of dreams right there. Cool. Last article of the week from my man G-Stephs. It is about the holy grail of a superconducting material. Now, you might ask, well, what is the point of a superconducting material? Well, the point is these types of materials are used for computing, transportation, and a lot of medical equipment, even power grids. Now, this material is used specifically to transfer information or power over long distances or extreme speeds. Okay? So, when you think of a supercomputer doing something crazy, it's got these superconducting materials. If you think of a levitating train, superconducting material, MRIs, anything like that, power grids, they have to use that material to transport the information as well as the power. The problem with it is that if you don't use a superconducting material, you lose millions of megawatt hours, If you don't use it, you slow the speed down immensely because of the amount of information that it needs. Now you might ask, well, why aren't they all using superconducting material? The problem is it's hot. Really, really hot. And in order to use this material, they got to cool it down a lot. They got to cool that material down. Now what they've done is that they've instead discovered a room temperature superconducting material. What this does is opens up a lot of computing and transportation opportunities. It opens up a major way for the world around us to change and get faster, smarter, and in general, just better. Really, really cool that it's a bigger deal than I can even represent because I'm not that great at these types of topics, but I think it is a major breaking point in our modern day computing. If you want to check it out, the article is called Holy Grail, Sought for More Than a Century, Researchers Synthesize Room Temperature Superconducting Material. Check it out. Really interesting to hear what it does. So it's involved in a lot. But all right. Well, that wraps up our main stories of this week. I'm a bit late, folks. A bit late on the podcast. I know we usually drop on Sunday. Today is Monday. Holy cow, what is going on? I just had to move again. Another work trip, but this time I was able to take my gear with me so we get this good quality. If you like it, please let me know. We do have a major announcement going on right now. We have recently reached 100 views on the podcast. We have more than that on YouTube, I will say that. But in general, we have over 100 views on the podcast right now. We're sitting at 130. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everyone listening. I know a lot of it has been my friends, but we have had a few discoverers here and there. I want to say thanks for checking out the podcast, as always. We're going to keep talking, keep posting gameplay when we can. If you hate the gameplay, let me know, and we'll change it up a little bit. All right. For our last story of the week, let's talk about Destiny. Destiny is a game that I would love to play with friends. The problem with it is, while it is cross-platform saves, it is not cross-platform plays. So I cannot play with my buddy on Xbox. My buddy on PS4 cannot play with me either. I don't like that, folks. I want to be able to play with my friends. It's 2020, and this is a major game. I want them to introduce crossplay more than anything. But that's beyond the point. Right now, we want to talk about Destiny. What happened with Destiny, folks? Well, on September 17th, Destiny went free to play, dropped all their content, most of it at least, dropped most of their free content on a ton of people and just said, here, play our game. So everybody did. They had all these updates, all these events, all these things to do, and it was crazy. It's like you were just dropped into first-person World of Warcraft where you can shoot people. And I loved it. I do. I just wish my friends were there. That's why I don't play it as much. Anyway, moving on. I loved it. I loved the game. I still do. The problem with it, at least from an outside perspective, is that the new update is taking away a lot of the old content. Why? Well, it's actually an interesting business perspective. It's because no one was playing it. There's not enough player volume to support a lot of the old content. So what are they doing? They're removing it and replacing it with the new content to synchronize the story a little bit. There's a really good article on The Verge, as well as BBC, about it, and looking at the world map versus what it is now and what it was a couple months ago. So with the new update, you're losing a lot of free content, a lot of things to do in the game, and in order to have access to a lot of the new stuff, of course, you got to buy the DLC. I've never bought a Destiny DLC because, again, my friends are on different platforms. Now, if they were on the same platform as me, I promise you we'd be grinding on some Destiny, but that's not the way it is right now. So, to Bungie, I'd like to say, I will come back to your game when there's cross-platform. What does my word mean to you? Nothing. However, I love your game. I think it's a great game, and I still drop in from time to time solo, but it's not a game that keeps my attention without friends. Next up, Zoom. We've talked about Zoom on here before. You know, Zoom, it's got such a weird history and such a weird existence right now, but honestly, I love the direction they're taking. So Zoom is launching like paid for live events where you can join a fitness class, you can join any kind of class, whatever you want to do, and pay for it. So it's almost like Zoom is doing their OnlyFans or something, something like that. Just where people put on and say, hey, pay for me or pay to join my live stream. Whatever. It's comparable in a way, I guess. Super cool. It is. I like it. I do like it. It's a lot more of a open and inclusive website than Twitch. Twitch has the platform for it. YouTube has the platform for it. But they didn't do this. And it's really cool that Zoom is taking this opportunity to go somewhere different and say that, hey, if you want to put on a workout show and you want people to pay for them before they can start viewing your video instead of having to donate throughout, they can do that. Boom. Really cool and different thing. Now, we're still going to criticize Zoom for a lot of their privacy policies. However, I do reckon game recognizes game. This was a good choice on their part. Cool. Now, our story to go of the week is Foxconn. If you've never checked out another podcast, I want to shout out really quick Reply All. It's a great technology podcast that goes into some mysteries about technology and the current internet and a lot of cool stuff. And if you want to check out a really cool podcast, check out Foxconn and Reply All, and they will talk about a crazy, crazy deal that didn't end up happening. And it all took place here in the US of A with Foxconn's Wisconsin project. So check it out. See if you like it. With that, that's going to wrap it up this week, folks. Thanks for listening, everybody. That wraps up the Streetcast podcast for the week. This is something I do for fun, and I hope you had a lot of fun listening. With that being said, there is always room for improvement, and I want to improve. If you have any feedback, whether that be articles, how they were discussed, anything like that, connect with the podcast on the channel. That is I'm_digit, India Mike _digit. Thanks again for listening, everybody. We'll see you back here on Sunday.